Now let's move into doing some advanced fun work with RethinkDB, and we'll do some analytics. One of the first things that we're going to need to learn how to do is how to group records together under some kind of grouping. So in the catalog table here, I have individual albums, and each album has a vendor specified. So if I zoom in here, you can see that the vendor is, well, it's the artist that recorded the album. So what I want to do next here is I want to be able to group everything by vendor. That's going to be one of the first steps. And I'll do that by grouping by vendor name. To do that in RethinkDB, I use the group function. And I'll specify using r.row. And here I'll just say it's going to be grouped by vendor name. So running this, you can see we have a pretty interesting result. It is not at all in the form that we are used to in running queries. We have a group and we have a reduction. And the group is the vendor's name, ACDC. The reduction, however, is each document grouped under the specified group. So here we have a reduction that's an array, and we have the details of each album. And if we cruise on down here, you can see that each album is represented for the given artist. We can take a look at this probably in a better way using table view. If we open up the reduction, you can see that each reduction is itself an array of objects, and each one of those objects represents an album. So let's take a look at what kind of thing we're working with, and we can use type of, and we can see that it's a grouped stream. And what is that exactly? Well, let's take a look. The best way to show this is by example. We are working with a stream. It's a stream of records, but that stream is grouped together. And to show this the most effective way, let's use map. And here I'll use a callback. And when using the callback here, notice that I'm actually going to be working on each album. So even though you saw group and reduction before, that is not the top level document. The top level document that we're working with here is album. So let's just say that we're going to return the album name. And there we can still see our group, but in the reduction, we see the album name. So it's kind of an interesting way of looking at this data, but it's something that's really good to know, that when you're working with a grouped stream, anything that you do to the data, you're actually doing on the stream itself that is inside the grouping. I know it might sound a little bit weird, but let's output the price here, the price for each album. And there you can see that everything is grouped as we would expect. And then we'll output a count because we might want to do a roll-up on this. And that comes next. We can do a sum on top of a grouped stream, and we can say we want to see the sum of the count. And then the reduction all of a sudden changes now. We don't have any individual items anymore. Instead, we did a sum on the items inside of the reduction. If we don't perform a reduction, then the item itself will be returned. This is a little bit confusing the first time that you see this. So let's keep going with some more examples.